Happy Friday, Mountain Movers. I really want to start this week's message by just declaring something over you. You are doing better than you think. And bigger than that, you are better than you think. I feel with the year-end close, planning for 2026, the holidays, travel schedules, family, work, it can feel like you're just not enough in this season. And you're just making mistakes, or you're feeling frustrated, and that frustration's leading you to maybe lose your temper, have a short fuse. My encouragement is just take a breath. Back up from the weeds, get to 10,000 foot view, and just scan the field and see all the good in the world and see all the good in your life, and maybe have somebody speak some life into you for how good you're doing. Because we can get lost in the sauce sometimes. We put our head down and we start focusing on the little mistakes, and those little mistakes start building to something much bigger than they actually are in our heads. And it gets way out of proportion, and it just snowballs mentally and mindset-wise for us. So for you, just know that you are doing better than you think, and just recognize that and take the time to reflect on it and take a breath. And so with that, kind of builds on the daily motivation that we talked about this week about where do you get your confidence from? Because maybe you're not feeling all that confident right now, to the earlier point of not feeling like you're doing so good. And so the question is, what is the root of your confidence? Where does your confidence come from? Because if it's coming from yourself, there's going to be the highest the highs and the lowest the lows. And it really doesn't take much time to stop in between those waves. But man, when it comes from God, there's stability, and there's trust, and there's faith, and there's peace that then leads to this flywheel of confidence repeatedly. So how do you gain godly confidence? First off, you got to spend intentional time with Him in prayer and relationship, thankfulness, welcoming the Holy Spirit in to do a work in you, because that godly confidence is going to be built from the inside out. And once you work on the inside, people are going to feel it and recognize it outwardly. And you might think that you're doing a little bit better than you think currently if you focus this time. Because what we do know is God's not limited by our imagination. He could do so much more. And so I know in my world, if I just achieved my vision for my life, it would have been very hollow, very selfish, and a very, very low bar, but had just a little bit of faith and a little bit of dumb luck, but repeated faith. And God has done so much more in my life than I ever thought was possible. And it looks completely different than I drafted it up, because it's about something much bigger than myself. So know that you're doing way better than you think. Find out where your confidence comes from, and let God do a work that can dramatically impact your life. Finish strong, everyone. Have a great weekend and Thanksgiving.